Alright, sorry, just wanted to make sure the live stream was working. Hi. So in this video, I know not too many people are probably ever going to see this video, and I doubt it's ever going to be anything extremely big, but I really wanted to make it. I've, for a long time, wanted to make this video. Let me do, like, you know what, let me do something that might help you hear me better, because Kingdom Hearts is a loud game. Let's see here. I really wish there was. Yeah, I'm gonna do. Let me do something real fast. Sorry, I know you can't see anything right now, but I'm going to do something, like I said, that will make it a little bit easier for hopefully you to hear me. There we go. It should make it easier for you to hear me. Hopefully the game's not as loud for you now. Anyway, as I said, this video game, or sorry, not this video game, this video is going to be talking about Kingdom Hearts 3, its failures and its flaws and its issues. So, to start off, my issues with the game start off in the very beginning of the game, which sadly, I don't want to start a new game, and I don't really have the editing ability to start from a new game and just show you a bunch of stuff. But for those of you who have played this game, for those of you who have not played this game, when you start off this game, Sora starts the game off with a bunch of abilities. He can already block, he can already do, I think, the dodge roll, and a couple other things that in most other Kingdom Hearts games I've played, he does not get until he is a higher level. This results in Sora feeling much stronger as a character. I can't remember all what abilities he starts out with, like I said. I don't have the editing ability to, just throw together a compilation of, Kingdom Hearts 3 footage. I wish I did, and maybe one day I will. But right now I don't. And I just really wanted to get this video put out there, and I really wanted to, speak my mind about this game. Anyway, back to what I was saying. My problems with this game start at the very beginning. Sora feels way too strong in this game. Not only does he start out with, I would say, maybe getting close to mid-game abilities, but you start out the game with the ability to, which is one of the new features in this game, for those of you who have played it and have not, he has a new ability where certain Heartless, when killed, will allow him to spawn like a Disney vehicle or ride, and you're nigh invincible when using one of these rides. I'm gonna go see if I can find one for you to show it off to you, so you can see just exactly what I'm talking about. In some of them, I flat out think Sora cannot take damage, and in one or two, I think he can, but it's still gonna be really hard for you to lose a fight. Here we go. This is what I'm talking about. This is one of Sora's new abilities with his, with this game. They decided to give Sora the ability to do things like this. To summon some Disney park theme ride, because this game is very much so Disney based. Now, normally I would not have a problem with this, but it makes Sora so strong, like ridiculously strong as a character. In most of the Disney themed rides Sora can summon, you flat out won't take damage, and not only will you not take damage, you can dish out an obscene amount of damage to the enemies around you. It turns the bosses into a joke, regardless of what difficulty you're playing on. I've watched my friends play on Proud. I even played on Proud for a little bit. Now, I haven't tried the new critical mode, so it is possible that critical mode is genuinely a challenge. But unless you're playing this game on Proud or critical mode, you're going to have a very easy time. It's like this game was created for people who have never played a Kingdom Hearts game before. And that's a big problem in my opinion. Because Kingdom Hearts has been a long-standing franchise. I have grown up with these games, and I have loved with these games. I have cried over these games. I have broken one of them because I played it so much. It got so scratched, I had to order another one. So, let's just say I've been a fan of Kingdom Hearts for a very long time, and I just want to show it its due respect. But I, from the bottom of my heart, feel like this game is a failure. As I said, Sora starts off the game a little bit too strong. That's issue number 1. Issue number 2 I have with the game is Sora is a whiny brat. And the reason this gets to me, the reason this is an issue, is that anyone who's played any of the other Kingdom Hearts games, Sora has done a lot of growing up, a lot of maturing. You know, he's always, and he still is in this game, very much so the character that really wants to save his friends and doesn't want to leave his friends behind and doesn't want to watch them suffer. Now, that's all fine and dandy. That is part of the Sora we all know and love. But other than that, he acts like a small child throughout this game. He, from the very beginning of the game, early on, he wants to go to the realm of darkness and save Riku and King Mickey. And he's he wants to join them in the realm of darkness. King Riku and Mickey decide to go to the realm of darkness, and Sora wants to go, but they basically tell him, because he failed his Mark of Mastery exam, I believe it's called, he's not allowed to go. And he pouts about it throughout most of the game. Every time he brings it up, the other characters tell him, no, you can't, you're not ready, and he immediately starts pouting like a 3-year-old child. There are legitimate cutscenes in the game where, I'm not joking, Sora acts like a baby. And he just whines and pouts like a small, spoiled child. It's really sad because Sora has matured, I think, a lot as a character, and watching him go back to basically being just a big crybaby takes away from the character so much, and it really undermines all the growth he's done and all the maturing he's went through in these games. That's my next biggest issue, is Sora just, all the, maturing he's done was really undermined in this game. It's like Square Enix forgot about the other Kingdom Hearts games, and they were just like, that Sora guy, he kind of seems like a big bubble blowing baby, right? That we made him a bubble blowing baby, right? Like, he was just an annoying character. No one liked him, right? And all the other people in the meeting were like, yeah, no one likes Sora. Who cares about that guy? He's just a pushover. He's just a baby. And that's not the case. Now, to anyone who's new to the Kingdom Hearts franchise, and I think that one of the biggest mistakes that Square Enix made was releasing this game on Xbox. That's the next thing I want to talk about. Is this game is the first Kingdom Hearts game to be released on a Microsoft console or Xbox. Now, to anyone who did not grow up on PlayStation 2, to new and aspiring gamers, whatever, you're going to have no idea what this game is about. Heck, I've played Kingdom Hearts, and the Kingdom Hearts timeline is so crazy and convoluted that there are points where even I was confused playing Kingdom Hearts 3, and I was like, what is even happening? Now, this is another major problem, because what a lot of people were hoping for is that one thing that was released here on Sony consoles was a bundle you could buy called Kingdom Hearts The Story So Far, which came with basically as many Kingdom Hearts games as they could put on there. Let's see. And while we're here, let me talk about another issue. The worlds. There is a very lackluster collection amount of worlds. You have Monstropolis, San Francisco. We've got Pirates of the Caribbean. We've got, basically, this is, I think, the final world, the Keyblade Graveyard. We've got Corona or Frozen. We have Twilight Town. We have Toy Story. And we have Olympus. Now, here's what I want to talk about when it comes to the worlds. There are so many worlds in the history of Kingdom Hearts. Kingdom Hearts has had a number of games, and they've all had they've all been Disney-related worlds, which is fine. I love playing through the Disney movies. I love the whole Sora interacting with all these Disney characters and, seeing how it changes the story of these Disney movies I grew up watching. I love that. But in Kingdom Hearts 3, there is absolutely no fan favorite worlds that make a return, except for Olympus. Olympus is the only returning world. Except for Twilight Town, but that's not a Disney movie. That's a Kingdom Hearts world. I'm talking about other Disney movies. Anyone who's a fan of Kingdom Hearts will know exactly what I'm talking about. There are no other returning Kingdom Hearts worlds. And that gets on my nerves so much. There are so many Kingdom Hearts worlds out there that I love. One of my favorite ones that I'm very, very disappointed did not make a reappearance is Tron. I am a huge fan of the Tron world in Kingdom Hearts. Not only, and as I pointed out, there are Kingdom Hearts specific worlds such as Twilight Town. There are other Kingdom Hearts worlds that I think should have made a reappearance. A good example, along with Twilight Town, there is Radiant Garden, which sadly is not in this game, so I can't show it off. Excuse me, hang on. But Radiant Garden, for those of you wondering what it is a Final Fantasy-esque type world that also, it's almost like Disney meets Final Fantasy, because the developers of Kingdom Hearts are Square Enix, they are the creators of Final Fantasy. So that's another thing I want to talk about. One thing Kingdom Hearts has always done is it has always had Final Fantasy characters thrown into the mix, which actually has worked out pretty well. For the most part, the Final Fantasy characters have been well received, they've been well liked, and it's caused no problems within the community. In fact, there are plenty of Final Fantasy characters that I like, and I'm glad to see, show up in the Kingdom Hearts games. One of my favorite Final Fantasy characters to see and kind of mess around with is Leon. Not to mention there's Cloud, and Sephiroth is even in the Kingdom Hearts games. In fact, he's a staple of the Kingdom Hearts games. One of the biggest challenges that Kingdom Hearts always threw at you, at least in Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2, was the Sephiroth fights. They were incredibly challenging, incredibly hard fights, where Sora had to face Sephiroth all by himself, with absolutely no assistance from Donald or Goofy. It made the fight incredibly challenging, but also incredibly fun, because there are very few fights in the Kingdom Hearts universe where Donald and Goofy are not by your side helping you. So it's a true test of your skills and your abilities as a Kingdom Hearts player. This game, Kingdom Hearts 3, has absolutely no Final Fantasy characters. It has a Final Fantasy reference in the Toy Story universe, which I may show off in a little bit. But it has no genuine Final Fantasy characters. You don't see Leon, there's no Sephiroth. A lot of the things that we Kingdom Hearts players love do not make a reappearance. And I know that Kingdom Hearts is supposed to be primarily Disney-based. I do understand that. But I would say the Final Fantasy touch, it's very... How should I put this? Entertaining isn't the correct word, but it's a nice added touch. I think it really fits the game, and it adds something to the game that I can't really describe, but if you ever do get a chance to play Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2, you'll understand what I mean. Anyway. the lack of Final Fantasy characters in this game really does do genuine harm. I remember when I first picked up Kingdom Hearts 3, I had it pre-ordered, and I couldn't wait to see what they had finally done with this game. You know, this game has been delayed. It was announced in like 2012, got delayed multiple times, and you know, finally it was out. And I was overjoyed, absolutely overjoyed. Couldn't have been more happy. Only to learn that a lot of the characters that I know and love do not make an appearance in this game. Not only do the Final Fantasy characters not make an appearance, but a lot of other characters do not make an appearance because their worlds are not in this game. Some of my favorite worlds were the Halloween Town world. Was Halloween Town, the Lion King, Tron, and just so many more that I can't even begin to name. Mulan is one of them. Beauty and the Beast. There are just so many worlds that exist in the Kingdom Hearts universe, and for the most part, I love each and every one of them. But when it comes to Kingdom Hearts 3, the only one that makes a reappearance is Olympus, aka Hercules World. Now, I don't have anything against the movie Hercules, but it was one movie. As to why it makes a reappearance, and movies that have a sequel, such as Mulan, Lion King, you know, and many others, don't make a reappearance in this game, is beyond me. This game, one of my biggest absolute complaints is, as I said just a few moments ago, this game was delayed a number of times. That delay thing is where I have one of my absolute biggest problems with this game. This game was delayed for years and years and years. And yet, we have such a small amount of worlds to choose from. From what I've been told and what I've looked into and what I read every time I heard Kingdom Hearts was getting delayed, from the information that was leaked or let out, and I could be wrong, I heard, this is what I kept hearing and kept finding, is that the reason the game kept getting delayed was because of graphical errors. They basically just didn't think the game looked good enough. Now, the game looks beautiful, don't get me wrong. This is a beautiful game, absolutely breathtakingly stunning. The visuals are amazing, and I'm glad that they took the time to make the game this beautiful. Everything just pops out. The colors are just absolutely just pop, pop, pop. Just, it's an explosion of color every world you go to. I don't care what world you're in, it's an absolute explosion of color. It's beautiful. And it's a work of art. Now, as amazing as that is, and as much as I love the vibrant colors and the lighting and all those great things, none of it matters when the game itself is lackluster. And it is. This game is not worth Game of the Year. This game is honestly not worth anything, and I really hope it doesn't win any awards. I'm also going to go ahead and say this right now. If this is the future of Kingdom Hearts, it should die now. This game genuinely feels like it was made for a baby in difficulty. Not only is it too easy, and I'm sorry if I'm kind of rambling here. I've never really made a video like this before, but I really, really wanted to get my thoughts and opinions about Kingdom Hearts 3 out. Whether you agree with them or don't, these are my thoughts and opinions, and I hope you can at least understand where I'm coming from. Anyway, I'm sorry, back to what I was saying. As much as I love the aesthetics of this game and how beautiful it is, none of it really matters when the story is utter crap. This game is a single-player game, meaning it relies on no multiplayer. So the story for this game should be overwhelmingly amazing. It should be very well done. It should draw you in, and it does not. It absolutely fails to draw you in any way, shape, or form. Which is very sad, because if you're a longtime Kingdom Hearts fan, the series has actually been pretty good at doing that. There are plenty times when I was growing up as a kid when I would play Kingdom Hearts 1, 2, or any of the many side games that are out there, and I would genuinely feel emotional, or I would feel happy, I'd laugh, I'd cry, or whatever. Because, hey, the characters are happy, or they're crying, or, the character's going through this moment or that moment. Also, I would like to make a revision. There is one extra returning world, the Winnie the Pooh world. But even that world was done way worse than I think it was in the Kingdom Hearts 2. But, again, this is all an opinion, so some of you may think it's better done, some of you may not. That's up for you to decide. Anyway, but the story for this game is lackluster. For those of you who don't know, the story of this game is pretty much Organization 13 is back, and they've got a whole new plan. Now, normally I wouldn't care that they're reusing Organization 13. In fact, I like the organization as a group of villains, but in this game, they don't feel villainous. I've talked to a number of my friends about it, and instead of feeling like they have a genuine plan, they feel more like they're just there to be a nuisance. Like they're there to just be like, oh, we're spooky, scary villains. Fear us. We're evil. And that's about it. I understand what the master plan is, and I'm not going to spoil it, because regardless of my opinion, if you want to check the game out, check it out. If you don't want to after seeing this video, then don't. It's up to you. But I understand their master plan, and I even understand how it's evil and wrong. I do. But that doesn't mean that it creates for a good story. It really doesn't. The villains in this game feel lackluster, and they have no depth of character. Which is very sad, because in previous games, a lot of the villains that make an appearance in this game were given very interesting character backstories, and they were given great character depth. I have no idea what happened. This game, I think, really suffers from what I like to call Disney syndrome. And what I mean by that is Disney is a very, very big company. They don't want anything messing up their image in any way, shape, or form. And I genuinely believe one of the big problems with this game is I think Disney got too handsy on it. I think that Disney, and I don't have proof of this, because, until Square Enix comes out and straight up says, hey, this guy's correct, Disney put their hands on the project way too much, I can only grasp at straws and guess at what happened, but there's so much Disney in this game, and not enough Square Enix content, that the only thing I can even begin to imagine is that this game really just had Disney bearing down on Square Enix, telling them, hey, this is what you can do, this is what you can't do, do this, do that, do this, do that. And to those of you who either play this game or watch a Let's Play of it, you'll eventually come to see what I mean. This game, it's hard to describe. When you play through it, you'll probably get the same feeling I did, where it seems like Disney was just incredibly overbearing, and it killed everything. Like I said, the views for this game are beautiful. One thing this game excels in is looks. It's beautiful. But everything else the game brings to the table is lackluster at best. Now, onto my next issue with the game. Which is, honestly, Keyblades. Now, for those of you who don't know, Sora's primary weapon is the Keyblade. I know this doesn't look like a key or a blade, but this is a Keyblade. There are next to no fan-favorite returning Keyblades in this game. One of my favorite Keyblades is the Oathkeeper Keyblade and the Oblivion Keyblade. For any long-time Kingdom Hearts fans, you'll know what I'm talking about. For those of you who don't know, a quick Google search will show you exactly what I'm on about. I really hate when characters interrupt me in games. I really hate that. Anyway, back to what I was saying. There are honestly, there are next to no Keyblades in this game. If I check Sora here, I have a total of 10 Keyblades, and I don't believe there are that many more in this game. I'm pretty sure every other Kingdom Hearts game has had way more Keyblades than that, or at least it definitely feels like they have. Now, again, this is something I could be wrong about. This game actually could have the most when it comes to Keyblade selection, but I really doubt it. And it really, really hurts the game. This, in combination with the lack of worlds that this game brings, boring. The only thing they did is they created a couple worlds and then let you explore them for a long period of time. I would rather have 100 worlds and spend 5 minutes in them than have, 10 worlds and spend 100 hours in them. You know what I mean? I want to explore different places, do different things, get new Keyblades, things like that. This game does not have any of that. To any Kingdom Hearts players who are hoping that this game has a wide variety of Keyblades, it's not going to happen. And the Keyblades that you do get are ridiculously they're either too complicated to use or too simple. I don't know what happened with this game and why they gave Sora all these crazy abilities, but his abilities either make him too overpowered or they're just too complicated to use. And either way you look at it, both are harmful to the game. I don't know why they didn't just bring back Sora's transformations from the second game. They were easy to use, and each transformation just did one simple thing. For those of you who have no idea what I'm on about, in Kingdom Hearts 2, Sora gains the ability to transform into, I think, 5 different forms. There's Valor, Mystic, Wisdom, or I don't think Mystic's one of them. There's Valor, Wisdom, Limit, Master, Final, and then Anti. Each one of them does their own thing. Valor form makes him stronger physically, and he wields 2 Keyblades. In Wisdom form, he wields 1 Keyblade, but he zooms around on the ground, and he can shoot, like, these magic balls out of his Keyblade. It kind of turns his Keyblade into a gun. In Master form, he has 2 Keyblades and 1 is floating behind him. In Final form, he has 4 Keyblades floating behind him. And then in Anti form, he has no Keyblades, but he can do combos for days. Now, that Anti form thing kind of makes a reappearance in this game. That is the next thing I want to talk about. Sora's Berserk form, as they call it in this game. In this game, when you are about to die, sometimes Sora gets the opportunity to go into his new form called Berserk form. Basically, the way the form works is simple. The less health you have, that's right, less health you have, the more damage you do in the form. So the most possible damage the form can dish out is when it is at 1 HP. That's right, 1 HP. I've been playing Kingdom Hearts for years, and even bosses I'm incredibly comfortable fighting against, if I somehow get to 1 HP, that's a problem. In any game, you should never want to be that low on health. If you're that low on health, death is quickly coming after you. Especially because in Berserk form, you cannot heal yourself. Sora loses the ability to use potions and items. And I'm pretty sure, just like when you use Anti-form, your teammates disappear, so they can't save you either. It's really a gambit. So that, it's basically... How should I put this? Pretty much, it's a one last, hurrah type thing. Either you go into Berserk form and you beat the enemies, and then you come out of it and heal, or you die. Let's see here. Sure, let's go to the Pirates of the Caribbean world. Oh, and I am sorry. Of course, how could I forget? Pirates of the Caribbean is a returning world. So we have 3 returning Disney worlds. The rest are new. And I know I've already talked about this, but I would say this is my overall probably top 3 biggest issues with this game is the lack of worlds. Kingdom Hearts 1 probably had more worlds in this game. At least I think it did. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it had at least 1 to 2 more worlds than this game did. That came out on PlayStation 2. This is a PlayStation 4 Xbox One game, and it can't have more worlds. That's simply lazy development. There's no excuse that they could come up with other than just sheer laziness. And now a lot of you may be wondering why I'm so upset with the lack of worlds, if they really are entertaining, and some of the worlds are entertaining. One of the reasons I'm making this video is because this is the end of an era for Kingdom Hearts. This game marks the end of the Xehanort saga. Now, I'm sure some of you out there are like, what the heck is Xehanort, and what the heck is the Xehanort saga? The main villain of Kingdom Hearts, the entire time these games have been produced, is a guy named Xehanort. In this game, finally he's defeated, and a new villain will take over the Kingdom Hearts series. Because Square Enix has already confirmed that Kingdom Hearts is not done, and they plan to release more games. Now, this is the end of an era. Finally, Xehanort's been defeated for at least a little bit. There's some peace and quiet in the Kingdom Hearts universe. Things are looking up for the Kingdom Hearts characters. And yet, this game is incredibly lackluster. It's not well done. It's even a little bit glitchy. As you've watched me run around as Sora, you saw as I was trying to just run with Sora, I was just holding forward, and he would stop running and then walk. Stop running and then walk. Stop running and then walk. It's... As to why that happens, I have no idea. I'm very disappointed in this game. This game should have been... This game should have given us the moon and then some. The only thing it truly delivered with was the visuals. I mean, these visuals are amazing. This game is beautiful, and I will never ever say that this game is not breathtaking. It is. This is some of the most breathtaking graphics I've seen in a while. So I will gladly say to you, Kingdom Hearts 3, you are a masterpiece, a work of art when it comes to your graphics and your visuals. But that's the only thing I can say. Your story was incredibly disappointing, which really, really depresses me. Because this is the end of an era. Xehanort's been defeated, the big bad guy. Finally, you beat him, and this is all I get? A lackluster feeling? Don't get me wrong, there were some okay moments in this game, but that's as much as I can say. There were no moments where I felt over the top or specifically, you know, really anything. There are a couple moments where I got to do something and I was like, oh, this is awesome, heck yeah. But Kingdom Hearts, I've always been able to feel more. You know, one thing I think every good book, movie, game, even song should do is it should move you. Not necessarily to tears, but it should make you feel something. It should make you happy, you know. If it's a song about anger and rebellion, you should feel angry and rebellious. The same thing you can apply it to video games. When a character's happy, you should feel happy as well. When a character's sad, you should be right there with them, upset and crying and heartbroken. When a character's angry, you should be angry with them. That's the mark of a good game, of a good story, and good character development. This game has none of that. There were very few moments where I genuinely cared about anything that was going on, because half the time, like I said earlier, Sora just complains. He just complains, complains, complains. And he acts like a spoiled, rotten brat. Now, I'm sorry this video's gone on so long. I don't really want to drag on for too much longer, because I know that not too many people are probably going to watch this video anyway, but I still really felt like I needed to get all this off my chest. To those of you who have watched this video, I do want to say thank you. I don't really have much more to say about this game. These are my problems with the game, and once more, this is all an opinion. Take it as you will. I know there are still a lot of people who felt very satisfied with this game and like how it ended. All I'm saying, to wrap up everything I've said into one final thought basically, this is the end of an era for Kingdom Hearts. This is the end of the Xehanort saga. You should have went above and beyond Kingdom Hearts. We should have had more worlds in this game than any other game in the entire series. I was hoping for a good 20 worlds, because this game had been, like I said, it got delayed for more than 6 years, I believe. And you had already been developing the game when you released or announced its creation at E3 in like 2012 or whenever it was. This game has been in development, or was in development, for ages. And for a game that got this much development time, it is just a sad, pathetic excuse of a game. I really hope, Square Enix, that the next Kingdom Hearts is better, and I genuinely hope that this game gets some DLC, and maybe adds more story to this game, and adds more stuff to it that, you know, happens before you finish off the final boss. I know that wouldn't make a lot of sense, and you'd have to do a lot of rewriting, but, like I said, this is the end of an era. This game really deserves it. Anyway, that's all I have to say about this game. Feel free to let me know your thoughts and opinions on Kingdom Hearts 3. If you like it, tell me what you like about it. Tell me, you know, what you really got you into the game, what you enjoyed. And if you don't like the game and you agree with me and think that the game has a lot of issues and failures, please tell me what issues and failures you think the game has. Anyway, that's all I have to say. Thank you for watching this video, and thank you for being a part of my audience. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I will talk to you later. Peace.